All right, we're going to pick up in chapter 1, section 5, solving linear systems. And we talked last video about solving systems with two variables and went over back how to do substitution and elimination and looking at graphing to solve. So now we're going to do the Algebra 2 version, which is linears in 3 variables, a system of 3 linear equations. The solution you're going to get is called an ordered triple instead of an ordered pair. Pair is 2 things, triple is 3 things. We're going to have 3, x, y, and z, a, b, and c, whatever the letters are that they give you. Okay, you can do it substitution, you can do it elimination. You can't really graph it because graphing in 3D is really difficult. Okay, you're going to get the same kind of answer examples, exactly one solution where all 3 planes, we're dealing in 3 dimensions now, so that's up and down, left and right, front and back, that's a plane. 2 dots is a line, 3 dots is a plane. So when the planes intersect in 1 point, that's a 1 solution situation. And the planes intersect in a line, that's an infinity, and when you get that, you're going to see an identity, like 0 equals 0 or 2 equals 2. And there's no solution. That'll be your favorite to do because as soon as you hit the no solution sign, you stop, you write down no solution, and you're done. Okay, and there's 3 different ways that those can happen. Either 2 of the planes are always intersecting, but not all 3. 2 of the planes intersect one of the other planes, or none of them touch. Now, the way that you're going to tell that that's the case is you're going to get a non-true statement. Something like 0 equals 2, where that is not true because 0 does not equal 2. Okay, so we're going to rewrite them so that they're all lined up. Line up all your x's, your y's, your z's, your equals, your constant numbers on the other side. Then you're going to pick a letter to eliminate. You're going to manipulate with the powers of math to make the coefficients the same and the signs different. Add the 2 of the equations together. You're going to do that again and eliminate the same letter. Don't change letters. That'll screw you up. Then you're going to have 2 equations, new ones, that have just 2 variables. And you're going to pick one of those variables, and you're going to eliminate it by using the powers of math to make the coefficients the same with different signs and add them together. Then you're going to have 1 variable left, and you solve for that one. Once you know what it is, you take it, you plug it back into one of the 2 variable equations you made. Doesn't matter which one, either one is good. Find the other variable. When you have 2 variables solved for, you take those 2 and you plug it back into one of the original 3 problems. Solve for the 3rd variable, and then you're done. So let's see this in practice. All right, I'm looking at what I have here. I even look up at the instructions for example 1. These are all going to have, whoop, hello. I might get my pen ready here. Need a thin pen today. These are all going to have 1 solution. Okay, so I know there's 1 solution. There is some x, y, z that I have to put. Okay. So I'm going to look, they're all lined up. X is all on top of each other, Y is all on top of each other, Z is all on top of each other, numbers all on top of each other. So now I have to pick which letter do I want to eliminate. So as I look at them closely, if I look at Z's, right? With the Z's, I'm going to have to multiply both equations that I pull because none of them can turn into the other. 3 can't be 5, 3 can't be 4, 5 can't be 4, 4 can't be 5, 4 can't be 3. I'd have to find the least common multiple of those. So that's not a real good option. I can do it, it's just not the best. If we look at x, 2 can be 4, 2 can be 6. So that's an option. Okay, but we're going to start to get pretty big there. Multiplying by 2 and multiplying by 3, but that's not too bad. And if I look at y, y's already got some that have opposite signs. And all I have to do is take 1y and multiply it to become 3y, or 1y to become 2y. So I'm going to go with the y's. That's what I'm going to eliminate first. And what I'm going to start with is the easiest one. It's already got opposite signs. I just have to do 1 multiply. So I'm going to take the 3rd one and bring it down here. I'm going to take the 1st one, bring it down there. Now what I'm doing is I'm changing this coefficient to become that one. So I need to multiply by a 2. So when I bring this down this little arrow slide, everybody's got to multiply by 2. I don't have to multiply by -2 because I don't need to change the sign. They already have opposite signs, 1 minus, 1 plus. So let's just bring down the top one straight. I'm not multiplying by anything. There's nothing on my line, so it just goes to 4x plus 2y plus 3z equals 12. Let's pull the bottom one down. 6x times 2 is 12x. Negative y times 2 is negative 2y. 4z times 2 is 8z. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And I'm going to add down. 4x and 12x is 16x. 2y and negative 2y is 0. That was the elimination. That's what I wanted. 3z and 8z is 11z. All right, that's a z, I promise. 12 and negative 6 becomes 6. I'm going to give it a little thick back to here. Yeah, about there. Okay. So I've gotten an equation from that. Now I'm down to 2 variables. I'm going to pick another 2. I'm going to pick the middle one and the bottom one. So I'm going to pull them over this way, over here. I'm not going to do anything to the middle one because it's already a negative 3. I need to make 1y become 3y. So I'm going to multiply by a 3. Now they're both minus, so I need to do a negative 3 so that it changes the sign. So I'm just going to bring down 2x minus 3y plus 5z equals negative 7. And I'm going to pull this other one down. 6x times negative 3 is negative 18x. Negative 1y times negative 3 is positive 3y. There's my elimination. 4z times negative 3, negative 12z. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9, and I add those together. 2x and negative 18x, negative 16x. Negative 3y and 3y turns into 0. There's my elimination. That's what I'm looking for. 5z and negative 12z, negative 7z. Negative 7 and 9 is 2. Now I look at the two equations I've created. Okay, and yeah, this is a lot of primary math, a lot of add, multiply, or add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay, it's going to take up a big piece of your paper. You have to do it on separate paper. You can't do it on the little printout worksheet. Okay, but I can do x's because I see they're the same number, same coefficient, 16, different signs. So I'm just going to pull this guy over here. Do negative 16x minus 7z equals 2, and add them together. X's go bye-bye. 11 minus 7 is 4z. 6 and 2 is 8. Divided by 4. Z equals 2. I know what z is. Okay. Now that I know what z is, I plug it back in. I can plug it in here. I can plug it into that equation. Or I can take it and I can plug it in over here. And I've got space to work over here, so I'm going to go over to the left. So I'm going to do negative 16x minus 7 times 2 equals 2. Negative 16x minus 14 as I simplify to 7 times 2. Add, whoop, sorry, undo. Add, are you serious? Let's try this. Add 14 over. There we go. Negative 16x equals 16. Divide by negative 16. X equals negative 1. X, z, we need the y. To get the y, you take the x, you take the z, you plug it into one of your other equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one. 4 times negative 1 for x, plus 2y, plus 3 times 2z, 2 for z, move that out of my way, equals 12. Negative 4 plus 2y plus 6 equals 12. 2y plus 2 equals 12. Move your 2. 2y equals 10. Divide by 2. Y equals 5. Bam. X, Y, Z. Negative 1, 5, and 2. Okay. Let's try another one. This one, we already know. It's going to be no solution. So we're just going to have to hope we guess lucky early and get the no solution sign, the non-true statement. Let's see if we can get that early. Okay. Well, let's bust. So, well, What's going to be easy to mix? Well, the y's look pretty easy. I got 1y, 1y, and 5y. That's just a multiplier of 5. So let's do that. Let's bring down the top one and the middle one. The middle one I don't need to change. I'm just going to bring down all of those 5's. 5x plus 5y plus 5z equals 3. But I am going to bring down the top one, and I need to multiply it by 5 to get the coefficient the same, and by a negative to make it switch signs. So I get negative 5x minus 5y. Ooh, that's a y, not an x. Minus 5z minus 10. Add down. Negative 5 and negative 5 is 0. Negative 5 and negative 5 is 0. Negative 5 and negative 5 is 0. Negative 10 and 3 is negative 7. 0 equals negative 7. No, it does not. So that's no solution. We got the winner. We won early. We can stop. Can't go any further. As soon as you get that, you got to stop. If you did some of the other combinations, you'd probably get a line, and you have to keep going till you get a no solution sign, which is this thing right here. You need a non-true statement. Now let's look at it whenever it's mini solutions or infinity, all real numbers. Okay. The letter I'm going to represent, let's see, X is in line, Y is in line, Z is in line, numbers in line. Okay, everybody's up. X is all the same signs, got different numbers. Y is all the same sign, got different numbers. Z's, same numbers, and there's a different sign. So I'm going to mix 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So let's do a 1 and 2 first. Okay, X minus Y plus Z equals negative 3. X minus Y minus Z equals negative 3. We didn't have to change anything. The Z's already got 1 in front of both, and they've got opposite signs. Add down. 2X. The Y's are negative 2Y's. The Z's disappear, and we get negative 6. Now, let's add together the middle one and the last one. I'm just going to do it right here. They're already stacked on top. X and 5X is 6X. Negative Y, negative 5Y, negative 6Y. Negative 3 and negative 15 is negative 18. Now, I see that 6 and 18, they all have a factor of 3. If I divide them by 3, 6 is 2, 6 is 2, 18 is 6. Okay. But you can also multiply if you always want to constantly multiply. Didn't want to do that delete there. I wanted to drag this. I'm going to drag it up. If I want the 2 on the X to match the 6 on the X, I'm going to multiply by 3. And I want the signs to change, so we're going to do negative. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6X. Negative 3 times negative 2Y is positive 6Y. Negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. Add down 0 plus 0 equals 0. 0 does equal 0, so that's infinity, or all real numbers. Okay. If you get down to that, it's going to be an all real number situation. Okay. But you got to go all the way to the end for that.